All right. We are back with another mock draft. Hey, we got to do it. We got to try and predict next year. Obviously, 2025 NFL mock draft, way too early. Not even a week after the 2024 NFL draft has ended. We're banging this thing out. We're going to basically just see kind of who's out there, what type of prospects we got for this upcoming draft. And let me just say, off the top, if you're looking for defense, oh baby, do we got some players. James Pearce to start it off, explosive, athletic edge rusher. We got guys like Will Johnson, Travis Hunter, Dion Walker, Benjamin Morrison, Nick Scorton, Malachi Starks, Takario Davis, Harold Perkins, one of my favorite players in this class, Abdul Carter. Like, there are some dogs. JT Tuamoloau, who we thought would come out this past year, who did not. Like, there are some dogs on the defensive side of the ball. We might see a big run on defensive players to start this baby off because so far, no one has really elevated to that quarterback one type status. It's still very up in the air. Obviously, we'll get to it, but guys like Shadur, Jalen Milrow, Drew Aller, Carson Beck, obviously, I'm not a big fan of, but some people are. Quinn Ewers, um, even guys down the board like Riley Leonard, Jackson Dart, Cam Ward, go Cougs. I know he's on over in Miami now, but still, he was here. He made a statement. Go Cougs. We love Cam Ward. But yeah, man, let's just get right into it. Like, starting off with the Carolina Panthers, and obviously, when you get rid of Brian Burns, you only have Chase Young and Jadeveon Clowney. There we go. Therefore, right now, I mean, James Pearce is the only guy. If you're sitting here picking one, uh, that I mean, you just have to go with him. Clowney is obviously not in the future. Maybe Chase Young is. Clowney definitely not. James Pearce is the pick there for the Panthers. At number 2, we got the New England Patriots. And by the way, this is all just PFF projecting where these teams are going to finish next year. No real kind of um, I guess, thought behind this order. I'm sure it's probably based on odds. But at number 2 with the Patriots, I think I'm going to go Will Campbell here. I know you signed Onwenu to possibly play tackle, but I would figure he's probably on the right side. You don't really have a solidified left tackle, and definitely not of Will Campbell's caliber. The dude is incredible. Length, size, athleticism, he's got it all. Super consistent as well. Um, and he's also basically the captain or the man of the ship of probably the best offensive line in the country down in Baton Rouge. At number 3, we got the Denver Broncos. You got your quarterback of the future in Bo Nix. Jeez, I almost couldn't find the name there. It hasn't been that long. Jeez. But I have looked at it before. You have Garrett Bowles till the end of this year. Do you really want to sign him? He's been kind of barely just above average tackle in the league. Kelvin Banks can be much more. And I think here at this pick for me, it's probably Banks or Luther Burden that I would take this high. Um, and I think I'm going to go Kelvin Banks here to shore up the offensive line in front of Bo Nix, let him operate in the way that he is really efficient at operating, which is getting the ball out quick. And when he wants to take shots, giving him the time and protection to do so because he's got quite a good arm to get it downfield. But the Broncos right now don't really have the best protection in front of him. They have some good guys, but for the most part, kind of hit or miss along that offensive line. Kelvin Banks Jr. definitely solidifies the left side of that offensive line for the future. At number 4, we got the Tennessee Titans. They picked up L'Jarius Sneed this offseason. You've got some good tackle depth now. You picked up J.C. Latham in the draft at 7. This could be receiver. You don't know if DeAndre Hopkins is going to be there much longer. Traylon Burks really hasn't been much. You have Calvin Ridley who can play inside or out. Luther Burden is my number one, but if you have Calvin Ridley there, I don't know if you would take Burden. So I think I'm going to go Teteroa McMillan out of Arizona. Really smooth, kind of fluid route runner, especially for his size at 6'5". Like I said, Luther Burden is my wide receiver one. Would have no problem with taking him there. I'd have no problem with even taking a Will Johnson to go across from L'Jarius Sneed, but I think McMillan, with the loss of D Hop and his size, along with possibly you might see a trade involving Traylon Burks. We don't really know, and he obviously hasn't done much yet. And you just got another slot option in Jaquan Jackson. Maybe you just want to get that surefire, prototypical X receiver type build, and you can definitely get that in McMillan. At number 5, we got the New York Giants. My New York Giants, go big blue. And yeah, quarterback would be a need going into this if we're picking at 5. And again, this is all projection based. I'm going to go Jalen Milroe out of Alabama. Quarterback, obviously, mechanics, a little bit inconsistent, might be an understatement. They have been very inconsistent, but apparently he's working on them. We'll see what he looks like in the 2024 season, but I love this man's potential. I mean, out of all the quarterbacks in this class, the only guy I can really see matching his potential might be Drew Aller. And he also has a lot of mechanic issues. Obviously, I love Shadur. Ewers is kind of meh. I like Cam Ward, but his size is definitely a question mark. Same with Jackson Dart. So I think two high upside guys, Jalen Milroe, Drew Aller, if they can figure out their mechanics, they are going to be 1-2 in the quarterback conversation come next year. And like I said, I love Shadur. Definitely does not have the biggest arm, though. I know he's super accurate. Probably can make. Actually, no, he can make every NFL throw. Just doesn't have quite the zip or the strength to go really deep. But still a great quarterback. But yes, Jalen Milroe here for the Giants, especially if we're picking 5. Drew Lock, Daniel Jones, Tommy DeVito, none of them worked if we're picking 5. And yeah, I think Milroe under Dabes and Kafka would be really, really good. They know how to work through some mechanics. Definitely Brian Dable, as he worked with Josh Allen in Buffalo. So I really like this pick for the Giants. At number 6, we got the Washington Commanders, and I am trying to think, who do they have out on the boundary right now? Is it Kendall Fuller? Like, I seriously can't really picture who they have out at corner. It's got to be Fuller, St. Juste, and Forbes probably. So I think I'm just going to go Will Johnson because none of those guys are stopping me from taking him. Best cover corner in the class. Physical, athletic, has good length, presses. Probably has the best press out of any of these guys in this class. I mean, you could look to a guy like Benjamin Morrison or Takario Davis who just have really good size. But Will Johnson, dude, he has just been the best corner in college football since he got to Michigan, without a doubt. He has been unbelievable. Just the star of the defense. I was about to say everything runs through him, but I mean, the D line, you could definitely say or argue that it runs through them as well. But it definitely helps when you have a guy that can lock down an entire side of the field. So, Will Johnson, the pick there for the Commanders. At number 7, the Arizona Cardinals. Do you stick with Kyler Murray if you're picking in the top 10? I probably would still. But where do we go here? Maybe corner as well. A Takario Davis, 6'5", keep him in Arizona. 6'4", sorry. Him and Morrison are just a little bit lean is the only problem. I think they could still use some edge help. BJ Ojolari, you don't know if he can stay healthy for a full season. Obviously, at LSU, he didn't. All the athletic upside in the world. You got Darius Robinson in this last draft. Where do we go? Not interior offensive line. That is not where I wanted to look. Because I'm kind of eyeing Abdul Carter. Where is he? Is he a linebacker in this? Because he is, yeah, he is. So he's being moved to the edge full time this year, reportedly. And at 6'3", 250, he has the size to do so. And he's also been shown to be really good as a blitzer at Penn State. Obviously, you had guys like Chop Robinson, Adisa Isaac ahead of him. So didn't always get a ton of reps. But in the limited reps that we saw, he was fantastic. And I think at a full-time edge role, he might end up as the top edge player in this class. So I think we're going to go Abdul Carter here. Not like a ton of other guys I'm really willing to take here for the Cardinals. Maybe a Walker to fill in the interior of this defensive line. But I still think you need edge help, and it's going to be Abdul Carter for me at 7. Pick number 8, I think, is going to be, is it Dion Walker? Dion Walker? Dione Walker? I think we're going to go in that direction. Actually, wait. I think I might actually end up going Benjamin Morrison here. Really good cover corner. Like I said, a little bit lean at 185, but has good coverage skills. I think that's where we're going to go here at 8. Just a really solid corner out of Notre Dame, man. That's all I can really say about him. Obviously, I haven't done too much homework about these guys, so this is kind of first glance for me as well in projections and just how good these players are. I'll be looking into them more over the offseason and during the summer. But I think Brian Flores needs a, for sure, cornerback 1 out there. I still don't think Minnesota has that. And Benjamin Morrison definitely could be. Some people have him as cornerback 1 in this class. So I think that's a good pick there for the Vikings. At number 9, if the Raiders are here, I think this is probably looking for quarterback. And again, projections. This is all projection. I'm thinking about Drew Aller here, or maybe Shador, to kind of run that point guard role, just get it out, flick it out to guys like Bowers, like Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers. I think I'm going to believe in Drew Aller here. This could end up being one of the worst takes, or it could be looking like one of the best. We're going to go Drew Aller here. Like I said, if he can fix the mechanics, be more consistent, show a little bit more of improvisation skills, this dude is going to go very, very high in this draft, even higher than 9, because his arm is ridiculous. He can chuck the ball 60 yards at will, just isn't always on target. So we'll see. Again, this could be an ice cold take from me, but Drew Aller at 9 to the Raiders. At number 10 for the Seahawks. Could we see 3 quarterbacks in the top 10? I'm seriously thinking about it. I think this is going to show how much I am not impressed by Carson Beck. I am going to go Shador Sanders here out of Colorado. I think if you're picking at 10, Geno Smith did not work out. Sam Howell did not work out. Geno's also getting a little bit older. He's in his 30s. You only have him, I think, 1 year after the 2024 season. So he can be a veteran piece for you in that QB room, help Shador kind of move into the NFL, just be how to be a pro, how to be a good quarterback in this league. It would be a very good mentor for Shador. And I also like Shador's upside. He is one of the best touch passers in this class. I will give him that. I said his arm strength isn't the greatest, and it's not. But the touch that he has on some deep balls is incredible. Like, and like I said, he'll be more of a point guard type guy. And when you have dudes like DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith and Jigba, Tyler Lockett, just get him the ball, man. That's all you got to do, especially DK. Get him the ball on quick slants or little like slot fades over the top, and they will do the rest. At number 11, the New Orleans Saints. I might be looking for a little bit of a replacement here for Cam Jordan. I think we're gonna go Deone Walker. I think might be the correct way to say that. Really high upside. Been productive the last couple years. I mean, huge. 6'6", almost 350 pounds. The production should only go up for him, and he's got a lot of upside past that. At number 12, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How long is Mike Evans there? How long is Chris Godwin there? Obviously, you drafted Jalen McMillan, so I don't think this would be a Luther Burden type player because then you'd have him, obviously Burden, and Trey Palmer all there. Now, I think very highly of Luther Burden. Again, my wide receiver one, but maybe a guy like an Evan Stewart might be more of a prototypical, at least nowadays, wide receiver one type guy. I feel like Mike Evans would still be there, though, and Luther Burden is such a good player. You could also look to go corner here, and I think I kind of just talked myself into it. We're going to go Takario Davis out of Arizona. Big physical corner, 6'4", would fit perfectly in that Todd Bowles scheme. At number 13, Luther Burden probably won't go here either, but I think I might take a guy that can also play receiver. Dude, I'm just indecisive on this one. Because now I'm thinking about Colston Loveland. You don't really have a tight end like that. You can keep him in the Midwest. You got your edge rusher of the future. You got your wide receiver in A.D. Mitchell. Your wide receiver room in Indy looks pretty damn good. Secondary, they helped out a lot. We're going to go Colston Loveland here out of Michigan. Tight end. This might be a little bit high. Colston Loveland's a really damn good player. He's a good blocker, really high receiving upside, torched everyone in the Big Ten this year, and even last year when he was a freshman. He didn't play that much, but when he did, constantly torturing, honestly, linebackers and safeties that don't have quite the athletic ability that he does. And I think this would be a really good kind of safety blanket, if you will, for Anthony Richardson. At number 14, we're going to go Luther Burden. Imagine an offense. Justin Fields at the helm. George Pickens, Roman Wilson in the slot, and Luther Burden. That is pretty damn sexy. Whether you want to keep Najee Harris there or not, or if it's Jalen Warren, your receiving room is unbelievable. And for a guy that I think is wide receiver one, pick 14 is incredible value for Luther Burden to the Steelers. Pick number 15, we got the LA Rams. Helped out your defensive line a lot. Imagine a guy like Travis Hunter in LA. It'd be a show down there. They need corner help. I think Travis Hunter is going to end up being a corner at the next level. I think that's just his primary position. He has fantastic ball skills, really good coverage skills as well, whether you want to admit it or not. Um, Athleticism is unbelievable. We're going to go Travis Hunter here to LA. Jacksonville Jaguars. What do you need? You could use offensive line help. I don't know if any are worth taking here outside of maybe Ernest Green, and that's definitely a little bit of a projection. You could also go with Mason Graham here and really shore up that defensive line. You got Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen out on the edges. Get that big body in the middle. Or you could go with his teammate and Kenneth Grant, who could possibly go ahead of Mason Graham, in my opinion. Walter Nolan, even, who transferred to Ole Miss, I believe. You know what? Yeah, we're going to go with the Texas A&M transfer to Ole Miss, Walter Nolan. We're going to project him to have a monster year in the SEC. And Ole Miss is looking damn good, might I add. At number 17, we got the Cleveland Browns. You got Michael Hall in the draft to be on the inside of Myles Garrett. Is Deshaun Watson working out is kind of the big question. Because when he got going, right as basically he got injured, that team was on a run. You have really good receiving room. Secondary is good. There's not a lot of holes on this defense outside of maybe linebacker. And I absolutely love Harold Perkins out of LSU. Won't be a Mike and shouldn't be. He should be used on the weak side as an off-ball linebacker. His pass rushing ability is unbelievable. Athleticism, also unbelievable. The dude is just a super, super good football player, super good athlete. Like, he is the definition of disruptive. And, I mean, you kind of just take best player available, in my opinion, in Harold Perkins to Cleveland. At pick number 18 is where they have the Bears projected. They could use some depth still and some talent on the interior of that defensive line. They could also use some talent on the interior. I don't know if you would take a guy like a Tyler Booker this high. You could, I mean, I really like the Austin Booker pick in the later rounds, but you could get a guy like a JT Tuamoloau, Ashton Gelade. I don't know how to say his name. He's really damn good, though. I think that's the direction I'm going to go. I think we're going to go on the edge. It's just going to be who? I think I'm going to go Ashton out of Louisville, who I believe transferred. Another really high upside guy. Could go in the first round. Could go also in the third if the production doesn't show up. Really good size for the position. Good athleticism. Like, yeah, I think this is going to be the pick here for the Bears, as I almost closed out of the whole website. Jeez Louise. At number 19, we've got the Chargers. Wide receiver room could still use some help. But I'm looking at these Michigan guys. It obviously showed Jim Harbaugh is not shy of taking his old players. I'm going to go Mason Graham here. I know I said Kenneth Grant could go ahead, but I don't think Mason Graham falls this far. I'm not the biggest fan of his, but he is a good player. You cannot do that. He has really good size as well. And I think Jim Harbaugh, if Mason Graham were to fall here, which might be a little bit of a stretch for some people, I don't see how you can pass on him. So, at number 20, the Houston Texans. You got your safety in Kalen Bullock, so I don't know if this will be a safety here. You have Joe Mixon and Damian Pierce. But I don't know. I think a running back could go in the first round here. I love this running back class. You look at Jainty, Hampton, Judkins, Ollie Gordon, obviously, who got the Doak Award last year. Travion Henderson, Jaden Ott is a fantastic player out of Cal. ETN, Taj Brooks had the most broken tackles in all of college football last year. I really like Judkins. He did transfer, I believe, to Ohio State. Is that right? That's right, isn't it? Hold on, let me fact check myself so I'm not giving y'all any false information. Yes, he did. Um, I love his contact balance. I love his receiving upside, explosiveness, athleticism. I think he could end up being running back one in this class, along with a lot of other guys. But I also think this running back class is that talented to where one or maybe two could go in the first round, um, especially in the back end in this 20 range. This could have been tackle as well for Houston, but I kind of just talked myself into it. This could have definitely been an Ernest Green, um, or even an Emory Jones if you're that high on him. But I'm gonna show some love to a position that hasn't got a lot of first round hype in the last couple years outside of Bijan Robinson. So Quinshon Judkins to Houston to make that offense even scarier. At number 21, we got the New York Jets. This says quarterback is a need. I don't buy a ton of that. Unless Aaron Rodgers retires, do we try and project that? I feel like there's definitely some things you can project. You can't project a man to retire after only one season. I think he's going to give him a couple, unless he gets injured again. So you did lose some edge talent, but I still think you have some really good one in Jermaine Johnson. You have Will McDonald. I don't think that's quite a need. Could look into the secondary at safety. You lost, I believe, Jordan Whitehead this year. Offensive line, obviously, always a question, it seems like, in New York for both teams, that is. I'm trying to figure out where to go here. Definitely not a tight end worth taking this high. Maybe you're that high on Mitchell Evans. See two tight ends go in this draft, or in the first round, I should say. I think I'm looking at safety here. And Malachi Starks out of Georgia is phenomenal. I know safety, along with running back, does not get a lot of, I guess, hype in the first round or value because of the positions and how quickly, I guess, they can be replaced, or how easily, I should say. But Malachi Starks is a playmaker on the back end of that defense. Solid size, lined up everywhere, but is definitely that deep ball hawking kind of safety. Just a playmaker on the back end for Solid to work with, because they don't have a lot of guys outside of Ashton Davis that's going to play back there this year. So I don't know. I like that pick for the Jets. At number 22, we got the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, I would hope they're not going quarterback, but hey, maybe they will. They don't really have a lot of holes. I still think they could get better out on the edge. And we're going to go JT Tuimoloau out of Ohio State, who could have come out this past year. Really good power rusher. The problem is the inconsistency. Obviously, you think of that Penn State game where he dominated. He had like 2 touchdowns or something ridiculous. He had like 3 sacks. It was unheard of. But again, hasn't been a consistent enough player, but the potential is sky high for a guy like Tuimoloau. At number 23, we got the Dolphins. They have not given Tua Tagovailoa an extension yet. What does that mean? I don't really know. Um, they got some more edge talent though in Chop Robinson, so I don't think we would go there. They could use some secondary help. Jabbar Muhammad is a really good option, and I think I might have just talked myself into that. Even a Denzel Burke here, but I really like Muhammad and his physicality, so I think that's where we're gonna go. Obviously, formerly of UW, the teams have not changed for these players, but he is now at Oregon. Like I said, the size isn't going to blow you away, but he is really good in coverage and wants to be physical with you, has really good athleticism. I think he definitely could go in the first round and probably should go in the first round, and he goes there at 23 to Miami. Green Bay Packers here at 24. Upgraded offensive line yet again. They don't have a ton of holes, and I'm not really sure where to go here. You could go edge. Um, what's his face? Preston Smith. There we go. Sorry about that. Preston Smith probably gone after this year. So if we look into this edge class, Princely Uman Mielen, I don't know how to say his name. We're gonna call him Princely U though. Michael Williams, Patrick Payton, all in play here. Nick Scorton in play for sure. Oh man, oh man. Princely, obviously, he went to Ole Miss as well, I believe. There's so many good edge players in this class, man. I believe Patrick Payton entered the portal and then decided to stay at Florida State. Michael Williams could definitely be a first-round talent. He's got really good size and athleticism. Oh, man. Where do we go here? I mean, Packers have shown to like their Georgia guys. We're going to go Michael Williams here out of Georgia, who could end up being one of the top edge players off the board in this class, as in like top 3, like closer to the top 10 area. Goes here at 24. Love the athleticism, love the size, the length. Just a fantastic player. Another one out of Georgia. I mean, they just produce defenders like no other. It is truly ridiculous. And Green Bay, he doesn't really have to change logos, so that's pretty nice for him. Dallas Cowboys here at 25. I'm not kidding when I say this. They could be in the quarterback market next year. No joke. I'm pretty sure Dak Prescott has, 1 year left on his deal, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check that out really quickly for y'all. Because a guy like Carson Beck or Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Riley Leonard, they could be in play here. Like maybe he has 1 more year. Hold up. I'm pulling it up right now. No. After this year, he'll be age 31 and he does not have a contract for the future. A lot of people really like Carson Beck. I am not one of them, but I do understand he could be a first rounder. We're going to project that this, again, could be an ice cold take. We're going to go Carson Beck to the Dallas Cowboys. This 100% could have been receiver. I fully understand that. This could have been edge with Tank Lawrence possibly leaving. Could have gone Emeka Ibuka. Could have gone Evan Stewart. Maybe they're in the market for quarterback, though. You get him on for 5 years. Maybe Mike McCarthy ends up leaving if they can't win a damn playoff game again. Obviously, if you're picking at 25, I would have hoped you won a playoff game. But it's in the cards. Let's not act like it isn't. I know it's a stretch, but Carson Beck to the Cowboys. Pick number 26 for the Philadelphia Eagles. They just re-signed their top 2 receivers. I believe they drafted one as well. They have Paris Campbell there and a couple other guys. So I think their receiving depth is fine. There's some good receivers down the board where you wouldn't have to spend up here. Now, what they do uh, is they address needs before they become needs. Ernest Green out of Georgia, I would not be surprised if he ends up in the first round. Layton Johnson is not getting any younger. Maybe they think, hey, he's only got a couple years left. Let's get this guy. Let's let him learn under one of the best right tackles we've ever seen. And then he'll become the next cornerstone on the right side for our offensive line. Doesn't sound like that would be out of the ordinary either for the Philadelphia Eagles. They love their trenches, and I can't blame them for them because they always have an unbelievable offensive line and defensive line. Pick number 27 for the Detroit Lions. Marcus Davenport is there, but he's not going to be there for long. We're going to go Nick Scorton here, I think. I think he deserves to be in the first round. And not only is he a fantastic player, but outside as well. 6'4", 260. That's perfect size for an edge rusher. And the Lions at some point are going to need to put someone explosive and productive across from Aiden Hutchinson. I think Nick Scorton could be that for them. Pick number 28, Cincinnati Bengals. Where do we want to go here? T. Higgins might not be around. Joe Burrow needs another weapon across from Jamar Chase. You got him some tackle help. Ooh, let's look at these wide receivers. Evan Stewart is awesome. Emeka Egbuka's really, really good. I love Tez Johnson. And they don't really have that slot separator like a guy that, or like the ability that Tez Johnson has. The dude is phenomenal out of the slot. Do I think Johnson goes here in the first? That is maybe a little bit of a stretch. Maybe an option like a Mecca might be a little more fitting. No. We're going to go Tez Johnson on the inside of Jamar Chase. Maybe they can bring back T. Higgins. Then you have those two outside guys solidified. Get your slot option and make that offense terrifying. The dude can separate so damn well. Maybe the best in this class. Speed, quickness, twitchiness. Tez Johnson has it all. Really, really good player. The age might be a little bit of a concern for some to take by the time we get to the draft, but such a good player, dude. He might low-key a sleeper for the Biletnikoff this year. At number 29, the Bills could probably keep bolstering their offensive room. Do we look to go that route? It's not out of the cards. We could go secondary or edge as well. Von Miller will probably be retiring here soon. I think this wide receiver class is good enough to where you can look for guys down the board. And there's so many good damn edge players in this class. Could be Jack Sawyer. Haven't talked about him a lot. He's got some good size to him as well. Has had a little more production than some of these other guys, but maybe the pressures and hurries aren't quite there. Same with Princely. Landon Jackson, I know why he's this high, but like those 7 sacks, I'm pretty sure 4 of them came in the same game. The size is unbelievable, but I need to see a little bit more consistency. I love Patrick Payton at Florida State. My oh my. I still think receiver might be too much of a need for them. that they might value a receiver a little bit more here. Oh, I'm bent, man. We are going to go and select Evan Stewart. He will be at Oregon alongside Tez Johnson this year. I think you can get some good edge talent in the second round. And you have two fantastic interior players now. Ed Oliver and who did they draft? Shit. It was in the second round. Cannot think of the name. Why can I not think of the dude's name? Or no, they took Cole Bishop in the second round. It was down the board, I thought, that they took him. Am I just tripping? Someone let me know. Were they the ones that took... They took Ray Davis. Oh, Dwayne Carter, yes. Okay, I really like that pick. And you've got some decent edge players out there right now. Obviously, nothing spectacular outside of Von Miller, but he's obviously not the same player that he was. Evan Stewart is a phenomenal receiver. I think finds his way into the first round here for Buffalo. And Josh Allen gets another weapon to work with. A lot different type of a weapon than a Keon Coleman, that's for sure. Baltimore Ravens. Jack Sawyer almost feels like a Baltimore Raven. I think that's where I'm going to go, actually. We're going to go Jack Sawyer out of Ohio State. Across from Odafe Owe. Again, he just kind of feels like a Baltimore Raven. I don't really have much more than that. 31 for the Niners. They could still use some secondary help for sure. Quincy Riley's a really good player. Kobe Bryant is a really good player. Aiden White as well. Denzel Burke's obviously really good. A little bit lean. 6'1" though, and he's got good length. Dude, I really like Kobe Bryant. I just don't know if he finds his way to the first round with that size. I think we're just going to go Denzel Burke here. They still need secondary help, and Denzel Burke gives them a little bit more talent to that cornerback room. Can be immediately across from Charvarius Ward, and maybe even eventually take his place. So back-to-back Ohio State guys go there, 30 and 31. 32, Kansas City Chiefs. They could take another receiver if they wanted. I think I'm going to go edge here. I've been avoiding it for a while, but I do think that Princely U, I'm not going to try to butcher his name again, is going to end up into the first round, and he's going to go to the two-time defending Kansas City Chiefs as it stands right now. Will it be three-time? We will find out, but that is the draft. Really quickly, love Princely Uman Mielen. I really like his upside. Really good athlete. Has a nice first step. But yeah, some probably questionable picks for some people. Drew Aller might be the hottest take of this draft. That one, yeah, we'll see how that pans out. But some guys to definitely keep your eye on going into this 2024 college football season. James Pearce is phenomenal. If you haven't watched his tape, his first step, the explosiveness off snap is unbelievable. I absolutely love Harold Perkins, one of kind of, I guess, quote unquote, my guys, you could say. Same with Luther Burden. I'm an absolute truther for that man. I think he can be a wide receiver one in the NFL. I love Travis Hunter as well. So, um, but yeah, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this draft. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing some players that could possibly go to your team next year, depending on how their 2024 season goes. And like I said, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy and peace.